So it's Good Friday. On Good Friday, we remember the death of Jesus. Strange we call it good. We remember Jesus broken and bruised, apparently defeated, helpless and hopeless. And yet, in this act of sacrifice, in this act of vulnerability, Jesus wins his greatest victory as sin, death and hell are defeated. Romans 5:8 says, God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. Christ died for us. What was that all about? Well, the next verse tells us that through this death, through the blood of Christ, we're made right in God's sight, that we're justified is the biblical word. And justified means not guilty. It means just as if you've never sinned, that God forgives us completely. That somehow through the death of Christ, he takes people like us who've all made mistakes, who've all done things wrong, we're all sinners, and he makes it as though we're not. He takes people who can't get to God and makes it as though we can. And it's just absolutely remarkable. It's absolutely wonderful that God became a human being. Jesus is God, and yet he became a human, fully God, fully human, hanging on a cross so that you and I can know God now and forever. Absolutely astonishing. Our sin separates us from God. It's not because God's a snob. And we see that from the Bible, because instead of holding us at arm's length, God comes towards us. He becomes human. He becomes like one of us. Rather, it's that God tolerates sin. And it's no surprise, really. I don't know if you've ever watched the news and you've just been left really upset. You see a child dying. You see war. You see people being treated in horrible ways. And we're upset. We're outraged. We're incensed. Now imagine if you're God. You don't just see what's filtered through a screen for a few minutes a day. You see the whole sin of the whole of humanity, not just now, but for the history of this world. And it's no wonder that God cannot tolerate sin, because he sees the consequences of it. And he sees the consequences of even the little ones. You know, when you call someone a name and you think, oh, it's just a name, I didn't mean it, it's just a little one. We don't know the tragic and upsetting consequences that can have. God can't tolerate sin. And it's astonishing, really, that the God who can't tolerate sin, you could say he's allergic to it, came into this world. The God who's allergic to sin came into this world and lived amongst us, amongst a people who all do things that are wrong. We're all sinners. It's normal, if you like, to use that language, that we've all done things that are wrong. The God who cannot tolerate sin effectively takes a bath in it. He does this to show us what God is like. And through dying on the cross and through his resurrection, he offers us eternal life, to know him now and forever. And the question is, how will we respond? Because for me, that's a God worth following.